Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's October is already going spookily. It is 9 days until my birthday, and I will be on number three on the top 10 list of my favorite horror movies. So that'll be exciting. That's when that video will come out. And today we're going to talk about the number four pick. But before we do, as always, obligatory self-promotion. Please check out my poetry book, What If I Ruled the World? Poems inspired by music. This is the front, this is the back. Cute picture of your boy. The front cover. Designed this myself in Canva. So yeah, check that out. Purchase it. It's only $10 if you have not bought it. And it's always linked in the description, in my link tree, all that. And we're on the couch again because I felt like we hadn't been there in a while. So I decided to come back over here today. So now back to the number four pick on my top 10 favorite horror movies. It is The Conjuring. So it was directed by James Wan. I want to say he has directed most of them, but most of them in the Conjuring universe, but I could be wrong. It might just be the first two. Double check that. It was released released July 19th, 2013, if I can read. That was already 10 years ago. And the cast is Vera Farmiga as Lorraine Warren, Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren, Lily Taylor as Carol Perrin, Ron Livingston as Roger Perrin, Shanley Coswell as Andrea Perrin, Haley McFarlane as Nancy Perrin, Joey King as Christine Perrin, Mackenzie Foy as Cindy Perrin, and Kayla DeVore as April Perrin. So that's like so there's a family of seven, two parents and five daughters. And the synopsis is the Warrens come to assist the Perrin family, who experience increasingly disturbing events in their farmhouse in Rhode Island in 1971. So yeah, I like that this one does not spoil too much. You know, where can you stream it? You could stream it on Netflix, but it's already off Netflix, which I don't understand why. It's October. Why are you taking the scary movies off? But hey, I don't know what's up with that. You can see it on Amazon Prime, Apple TV. Excuse me, y'all. Fandango at home, Google Play, movies, and TV. I think all of them except for Netflix, you would have to rent or buy it. Which I'm like, digitally, just rent it because it's just crazy how even if you buy something digitally, if they want to take it off, they'll take it off. So it's not yours anymore. It's crazy to me. Which is why I have some of these movies on DVD already, but I definitely want to get more of them on DVD. All right, so I'm going to go to my pros and my cons. My first pro is the story. I love that there are multiple stories intertwined into the main story. You have the Warrens, they're doing their talks, they're doing like lectures and stuff at this university, and stories from their paranormal encounters. And even how it affects them mentally and emotionally. More so Lorraine, because she can see visions of things. I guess you would say she's a clairvoyant. I think that's what you would call her. And so yeah, it does like affect her more. Then you have the parents going to them for help and their own story going on. So it's like a couple parallels. It's like the stories are parallel to each other. And so you see everything that's happening with the parents, which is crazy. Because again, this new, of course, like hundreds of year old house, which, makes me want to buy a house that was made in the 80s and up, because all this craziness was happening in these old houses. Um, yeah. And then you have the Warrens doing their talks, and and I love that it's layered and builds up the Conjuring universe already in the first film. And also you get a glimpse of the famous like haunted museum in their home. That was cool to see and hear some of the stories behind the items. So they tell some stories behind the items. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, there's a very famous character that gets their own movies in the universe, which I have not seen the third movie for this specific entity, but I have seen the first two, and the second one out of the trilogy is my favorite, but I haven't watched the third one yet. So yes, that was really interesting to see and how some of the items tied into the plot as well. And the characters. All of the actors played their characters very well. Everyone embodied their roles very well and were very believable, especially like Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. They had great chemistry together and they acted off each other very nicely. And everyone in the Perrin family did a great job. Even the kid actors, sometimes kid actors are. eh, I don't think we should like roast them because that's not nice. But unfortunately, when you're a child and you have a job as an actor, you are going to get criticized. But I'm never too hard on kid actors. I'm just like, hey, they're children. It is what it is. They're going to get better if they continue acting. So I'm not going to be too hard on them. But I think they did. I think they did really well. So my next pro is the music and the atmosphere. The music and atmosphere of this movie really made it scary. Also, it's like with its slow burn pacing, it really builds up the tension. And they would do small things at first and set the atmosphere. Then towards the last 45 minutes, really ramp up the scares. And I think they did a great job of getting the viewer already scared before, like pulling out the big guns, like before you see anything for real, like really see anything. There's like building up this tension, and then when they call the warrants, it's it's getting real bad by that time. And yeah, so the music definitely helped um build up the tension and stuff. And I feel like this first movie with the music and the atmosphere, I feel like it's not like as jump scary as I feel like they've gotten over time. Like with the Nun movies, for example. I feel like it's a lot of jump scary, and it's like kind of, and then I hate fake me out jump scares where you think it's about to be a jump scare, but it's not. And then like a second later, it actually is. I don't like that. I feel like they did that in Nun. Like, I've definitely remember from the first movie, but I can't remember from the second one 100%. But I definitely think I did it in the first one. So it's the pure scares, the first movie of all of these like universes. I'm probably gonna say something similar for like Insidious, even though I've only seen two of them. Insidious is the next movie on number three, and I've only seen two of them, so um, I can't really say. And then I can't remember if Insidious has. I don't think they have extra movies in their universe. I think they just have the Insidious movies. No, they do have. Okay, they do have some prequels. I forgot about that. Um, so they do. All right, the setting is the last pro. Of course, being set in like a 100-year-old home helps with the scares. LOL. But I just also feel like the use of the entire land, not just the house, really made the setting scary. Like you're all over pretty much every place because it's kind of central to the story, actually. Like that you see certain things in the yard, or certain things in the lake, or certain things in different parts of the house. Like things happen inside and outside of the house that are important. Mm. Also, the Warren's house, also having paranormal activity, made it unique as a setting. And I already mentioned the haunted museum. I don't know why I put it twice. But yeah, having some haunted stuff in your house might make some haunted stuff happen in your house. Hey, it is what it is. But yeah, they definitely had some stuff happen at the house. And I don't know. I don't know why these things need to be safely in my personal house. I don't know why we can't get like a storage unit or something somewhere else that is not our home. But that's what they wanted to do. So, hey. And I actually don't have any cons for this movie. So, this is the first one I don't have any cons. Like, I just could not think of anything that I didn't like. I felt like it was a really good first installment. So I'm going to give my overall opinion now. This movie really set up the franchise very well. It gave a great foundation and connection to future movies, um, which they do reference in other movies, some stuff. So, like, they reference future movies in this movie, and then in future movies, you see what they're referencing, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Everyone acted very well, and it was believable how everyone interacted. Um, and they also have some people who are helping the Warrens who are like skeptics, so that's really interesting. Like, you're on a paranormal investigation team and you don't really believe. It's really interesting. The music setting atmosphere really made this movie very scary. It did. Yeah, even after I finished watching it, I was like, "Is there anything weird going on in my house?" LOL. Um, it just sticks with you. So yeah, it does that. It was a slow burn, but I think it builds up the tension and scares very well, and it's worth the final payoff. Like I said, pretty much a lot of the big stuff happens in the last 45 minutes. This movie's like 2 hours, hour 51 minute, something like that. So if you're not a slow burn person, I feel like it's worth it to watch the movie. But just a warning: if you're like, I'm ready to have stuff happening immediately, nothing big is gonna happen. Things are happening throughout the movie, like little things. All the noises, the bumps, the door slamming. Like there's stuff building up to like the really big part, but you want really big stuff, it's not happening in the beginning. Um, Definitely a 10 out of 10, of course. All these are gonna be 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. I did mostly watch this during the daytime, so I would also recommend that too. LOL. So that's my review of the Conjuring. And so I wrote a poem this time because I was like, I keep ranting about everything. And I'm gonna write copy and paste the like format for this poem inside of the description. It's called a Tyburn. I don't think I've ever written on this form before. It's a 6-line poem consisting of, so 4 lines have 2 syllables and the last 2 lines have 9. I'm going to be honest. I don't, no, I did count. I'm pretty sure I did count, but it might be off, maybe. Because I was, and also the first 4 lines rhyme in all descriptive words. The last 2 lines rhyme and incorporate the first, second, third, and fourth lines as the fifth through eighth syllables. So I tried to follow it as best as I could. It's a lot of rules. I didn't really end it the way I wanted it to, but here it is. It's called Home Sweet Home with a question mark at the end. Afraid, betrayed, dismayed, degrade. When when alone you're afraid, betrayed by your home, and dismayed and degraded. Oh why? So it's not my best work, but hey, it's something, you know. And I felt like, talking about the house would make the most sense because that's where the stuff was happening. Um, so I thought it would be good subject matter for the poem. Have you seen The Conjuring? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it your favorite of The Conjuring? I want to say either the first or the second Conjurings are my favorite, but I would have to rewatch the second one and probably the third one. Um, which is weird. I swear Netflix had the third one exclusively for a while or something. So now they're like, oh, we're gonna take these off. It's kind of weird to me. But anyway, it is what it is. So I got to figure out where I can watch them, unless Netflix puts them back on at some point. But yeah, do you have a favorite Conjuring movie? Is it not any of the main Conjurings? Do you like other Conjuring movies, like the Annabelle movies, the Nun movies? What else have we talked about? Have they done? La Llorona, which I know people don't really like that one. I haven't seen it, so I would have to see it and see what all the negative press is about. I thought the Nun movies, I've seen them. I don't think they're that great. I've seen Annabelle, the first two. I gotta watch the third one. I think as far as Annabelle, the second one is the best. The Nun, I feel like the second one was a little bit better, but I think I mentioned this in my Nun 2 review. The Nun, the main Nun, I forgot her name, but she kept doing the same stuff she did in the first movie. Like, why do you keep doing this? You know, this nun is after you, the evil nun. Um, so yeah, but maybe we'll get a third nun. I feel like that's it, but I feel like I'm missing something. If I'm missing something, let me know in the comments. Always like, comment, subscribe, share, all those things. And I will see you all next week.